is owned, or how much of XRP is owned by the founders? I believe it's still over 90%. Okay, the token is still out there. People still trade it. There's all sorts of other stuff, even though they, of course, had some other issues. May not be the best example in terms of, well, how well is it, are there regulatory issues? There's an SEC action, et cetera. But the idea is that dilution is really a matter of, well, what kind of supply do you need to have in order to do something? If you had something, let's say you're at a restaurant and people at the door, there's people waiting at the door, and people can't, and not only can't new people come in and take the seats until the other people have left, but they have to wait until the other people have paid, because then they have to literally pay everybody and come back and then say, okay, now you can put more money. Here's the money. You can change this into restaurant money that allows you to go back in and pay it, because we only have a certain amount of restaurant money circulating here, and so it slows everything down. And so part of having an open money supply is pretty important, right? That's why more dollars are printed, keep the dollars circulating. If dollars get hoarded by people, they don't circulate. They don't go to your local restaurant, your local store, your local bodega. They don't go to anywhere. They just stop. And if that stops, then everybody starts having problems. And so this is the circulation problem. The dilution problem is really the other side of a circulation need, and having a circulation need. And so, speaking of that, by the way, our sister company, we share some investors. Wax, you guys follow Wax at all? They just released this thing called Blockchain Brawlers, and I'm a huge admirer of it. I was talking with them right before they were going to release it, and you know how many tokens they have? Everybody raise your hand if you know. Oh, I wish I could see you. Seriously, I wish I could see everybody out there. But it's it's 1 trillion. Saul we were laughing about this the other day. It's 1 trillion tokens, and they released it, and the token came out the other day, and now the price is down a little bit, but not very much. It's around 50 cents, whatever. Irrelevant. They have 1 trillion token supply, but what are they going to use it for? This huge game ecosystem. Why do they need it? Because, well, it has to circulate. They have to be circulating. Axie Infinity, and again, I'll do another quick aside here. Axie Infinity. My heart goes out to all the people involved in that, because that hack was extraordinary. $620 million, maybe more, but. Where did that come from? That came from people investing in the project. That's going to devastate a lot of people, by the way. Hopefully they'll be able to make it up and do some other stuff, but they have a massive, massive circulating supply, because it's a massive system. Now, again, going back to what we talked about, we're not going to circulate 10 million tokens. We never were going to circulate 10 million tokens when we had it with Strong. We simply were saying we're going to take that off the table. Looking back, we just said we're going to take that off the table and set it aside, and the community will decide when it gets unlocked. So that's the only difference here. So we're not introducing the full supply at once. Only a small part of the supply. There is not going to be any more Stronger initially let out there into the community than there is Strong currently circulating. As a matter of fact, it will start off being less. So that's a small amount compared now to the total supply, and the total supply is primarily going to be set aside for the Strong chain. And again, if you look at what you're really going to be doing, well, then what happens when that's circulating? Well, are you familiar with TVL, total value locked? What happens is people take those tokens. Once you can be a validator, again, remember, we're making this so it's a community-based validation on the Strong chain.
From another individual that I was on another project. We got rugged real bad and came out of that with a sour taste in our mouth. But he told me to take a look at the Strongblock. Great team, really good idea that they have going on. And so I stumbled on it from a referral, I guess. I come into, crypto a little bit on the newer side. I've only been into it a year or so. Don't really have an IT background, but just fell in love with what I found in the crypto environment. And so when I got into Strong, I